A river wing dike is a type of hard engineering. It's mainly used as a deposition and flood management strategy for rivers. These structures are similar to dams, except that they only extend partway across the river as opposed to all the way across it. They are normally built perpendicular to the river's flow and are placed in pairs to help make the river's flow more concentrated. Sediment carried by the river gets caught by the dikes and is deposited. There are two types of these dikes, permeable and impermeable. Impermeable dikes can be created using stone, concrete, or other hard materials. Permeable dikes are made of materials such as wood and debris. This type is most effective in rivers that have heavy sediment loads because they are able to reduce the velocity of the surrounding area and allow sediment to deposit somewhat naturally. River wing dikes redirect the river's energy and cause its main flow to be increased in the center while decreased near the banks, thus causing more sediment to be carried downstream with the increased flow, which then results in a deeper channel. Deeper channels make navigation much easier, especially in areas with shallow rivers. These structures also create a calmer area downstream as well as around the structure for people to fish in. They can help prevent coastal erosion since they trap sediment and redirect the channel's energy to the center. They can also help prevent flooding in areas which are prone by allowing water to escape that area quickly due to the increased flow, therefore helping to reduce the risk of flooding in that specific area. The Mississippi River is approximately 3,734 kilometers long, starting from Lake Istale and ending in the Gulf of Mexico, running through numerous states within the U.S., including Mississippi and Colorado. It has thousands of wing dikes built in its middle proportion, where it has been narrowed to be about half the size of what it was in the early 1800s in the St. Louis area. These dikes have been built mainly to help aid in the navigation for barges by deepening the center of the channel and speeding up the water's flow, although they have had many negative impacts in their years of existence. Pros are that they can be useful for fishing, helps to deepen the channel to aid in navigation for barges, replaces dredging, helps control flooding in a specific area by forcing water downstream faster and out of the area before the flooding occurs. Cons are increased flood levels, can create flooding downstream, can damage other structures downstream such as levees. More money is spent to repair the downstream damages such as raising levee height, and they are dangerous to boaters and those living downstream. River wing dikes in the Mississippi River have helped a great deal with navigation and a bit with flood control in the upstream areas of the dikes, but they have also had negative impacts in the areas downstream. They increase the river's flow to a point where they can create flooding downstream during times of high water levels. They've created a pattern of increased flows and therefore increasing discharges over the past 100 years. This means that they are more dangerous during floods and can severely damage infrastructure downstream and possibly injure and kill inhabitants. In general, the wing dikes created on the Mississippi River have been successful for navigation improvement, but soon to be problematic for flood control. The Missouri River has an entire canal with river dikes along it. Its purpose is to aid with the navigation of barges by deepening the channel to allow adequate access. These dikes serve the purpose of creating a narrow channel by trapping sediment that is carried downstream, thus creating more land over time. These two results help to maintain the river and its original cross-sectional area to avoid flooding and other problems. Pros are that it aids with barge navigation, creates more land, which could serve many different purposes for both humans and wildlife. Cons are increases the chance of flooding downstream, can potentially damage infrastructure and such due to the increased river velocity, makes meanders in the river larger through erosion on the opposite side, and money must be spent on implementing rocks and on the opposite side to help decrease the erosion due to momentum. Overall, the Missouri River wing dikes have served their intended purpose to aid with barge navigation, but they have had many negative side effects along the way. Most of the cons are to do with areas downstream due to the aftermath of the increased flow, especially during times of high bank flow level.